drone videos or listing photos or a photo gallery on a website. Instead, some of the benefits are that this recent survey done by NAR found that 99% of millennials look online and 58% say they found their home using a mobile device. So you've got to be online with some really serious impact, whether you're trying to get someone in as a rental or you're trying to flip to a homeowner. There are several different levers you can pull, and a virtual home tour can definitely be part of it. What realtors found out, and we as property investors can utilize, is panoramic and 360-degree images. They're creative ways, and they're an important tool so that they allow the buyer or renter to kind of view the property from the convenience of wherever they are and experience it in greater detail. One of the important age groups is if you're trying to market to the 53 to 71 demographic, they're moving the longest distance, and they're the most interested in as much information, just like millennials, about a potential property. And now with the pandemic and trying to attract more buyers and provide kind of a virtual showing atmosphere, we should really seriously think about moving on from static photos. Some of the other things that we grapple with in marketing a property is that a lot of it's purely photos and written copy. What a virtual tour can do is invite the prospective buyer or renter into the property from the comfort of their own home and allow them to view it in an interactive way, and help them decide whether they want to whether they want to view the property. So next slide. So a virtual tour is a series of 360-degree photos that are taken with a special camera. This is one of the 360 tours. This is a photo, a raw kind of unstitched and unmodified photo from a photo shoot we did for Cheryl David. She's an elder attorney. And inside, there are these hotspots that allow you to navigate through a virtual tours. And I'll show you a couple of examples. But some tips for a successful virtual tour. You want to make an effort to put away, really tidy the place up, make any reflective surfaces shine, make sure that any burnt out light bulbs are replaced. You know, I will say most of the tours that I've been able to shoot, they were ready, so I didn't have to come back. If I have to come back, that kind of puts a snag in the whole process of getting your tour ready and ready for showing. So we really we give this to you up front prior to us coming to you, so you have a checklist to work through so that you truly are ready for us. You know, and particularly I know if you're involved with flips, construction supplies and debris are out of sight. That's a really important tip. So the first tour is with Cheryl David, and this shows you kind of how you can embed it on a website. And this is the tour of her office. So you can label the different rooms and navigate from room to room. And this is kind of a, you know, welcome reception area. And then you can navigate to the different meeting rooms and offices. Each room is generally comprised of a 360 image, so you can see what's happening in a given room.
She let you stand on that table like that?
Yeah, so we actually use a tripod and stand outside the room, and even that kind of poses some challenges to stay out of the way of a 360-degree camera. But we do some branding for some of our clients. Um, if you've got a quick flip, we we leave out some of these optional services to kind of lower the cost and give you something that's, we hope, more viable in your marketing efforts. Yeah, so that is Cheryl David's virtual tour, commercial attorney office. But since it's in an office building with a lot of rooms, I thought it was a great example to give you kind of a sense of how you navigate through a residential property uh, among the different rooms.
Yeah, this is so much easier than me looking at the street view and trying to figure out where the windows are at, and match
Right.
those up with the doors and trying to figure out which room I'm looking at and how it relates
Uh-huh.
to the other room.
Yeah. So that was one example. We did another example. This was a forklift service and sales organization called Atlantic Coast Toyota Lift in Winston-Salem. We have this on our website. They paid for it to be on their website, but they aren't currently using it. So we can go outside too. So you can see, we can get an idea of, yep, that's me. There's just nowhere for me to hide doing this outside shot. I would have had to go around the corner. That poses some issues with the connectivity with the camera. So I might show up in a kind of where in the world is Carmen Sandiego kind of effect. So this is photos taking you from the parking lot into the main reception, the office, and then into kind of the service reception area. So this is an office, and yeah, we did some branding there. And then interestingly enough, you can really kind of give people a behind the scenes look of a business. If you know a business, this happens to be their parts department. And then we can go out to where they actually keep stock
Is that
and
you posing in
service.
a red shirt? Like, are you pretending to be an employee there?
Oh no, that was actually an employee. Yeah, sometimes we get employees in these shots, business demands kind of trump us being sometimes being on site for this. And it's 360 degrees. I think that's the really interesting thing. It's not 180. You can see an entire room, an entire facility. Yeah, and you get a little preview of what it's like outside. So these are these navigation bubbles. These navigation bubbles kind of we use to kind of get you out there. So you get a really good sense, an immersive look. It's kind of beyond what these two-dimensional photos can do. So that was two examples.
And Rob,
Yeah,
you are able to see like the ceilings as well, right? In
that's
these.
right. Yeah, if we go back to any of these, and I'll go back to the attorney, since that's more home-like, and you can, yeah, so the condition of the ceilings is available. You can get a really good sense of what the ceilings look like in each room. So
Again, inviting you like from the comfort of your own home, your desk chair, you can see were there any previous leaks, what is the
right.
lighting situation, without even having to come in.
Yeah, I mean from your desktop, and this is available on your phone too. I see I've got the chat open so I can address, have I found the services increased since COVID? I've really made an effort to kind of increase awareness of the product. And I think since COVID, that's giving me more opportunities to speak with groups of investors and real estate professionals, like Triad REIA. And so it's, we hope that it's something that more investors and real estate professionals find useful. And so we like the opportunity just to get in front of people and show them and network. You get a really good idea, condition of moldings, was there repair work done in the ceilings? You can look at the floors. Was there any work done on the floors? What did base and shoe molding look like? All these kinds of things can really be addressed with this immersive. Here we can see some detail. We can zoom in a little bit so we can see some of what's happening on this table.
Now, is that like merchandise or like little
No, this
giveaways?
is a meeting room, and so this is their brochures and some stuff they give away during a meeting. This is some tissues, hand sanitizer. This was pre-COVID, but and some business cards. So you can get some details about what's happening on surfaces. If we shoot them from that perspective, you can get some more details. And you can see at a certain zoom out, it gets kind of distorted. So we set the photos up at an optimum level for viewing, but there's nothing to prevent you from zooming in to the extent that you can and zooming out. And then we set these links between these different photos on our hosting platform. And once we shoot it and you pay for it and hosting, it's all one-time fees. So this is good as long as you want to use it. This isn't a recurring fee. This is kind of a one-time fee. We go in, we shoot it, and then we process the photos and connect them up on the hosting platform. And then we're able to get and then allow you to embed and link to the tour from whatever websites you want and restrict other websites from coming or linking to it if you want. So that's part of the advantages. And as you can see, you can embed it on a web page. They embedded it on their web page, and we can see they get a good couple hundred people looking at it a month, and that's really helpful at making their prospective clients comfortable about coming into their office, even with COVID. She's now doing, obviously, planning from home, but when the office was open and when it is open, you get a real sense of what the office looks like. So what's it cost? Photography costs are based on square footage, and they're running about 30 cents a square foot. And then the virtual tour hosting and setup is an additional $50.
So you'll have to excuse my ignorance, but we do rentals.
Okay.
So could we do this for, let's say, a rental property, and then, like you said, post it when it's vacant, and then take it down, and then repost it when it becomes vacant again, and just keep reusing it over and over like?
Absolutely. Like if you wanted to embed it on your REIA website to rent it out, you could do that. We would set it up so it would only show on Triad REIA when you chose to share it, and we'd give you the code you needed to embed it in a web page.
Okay.
So it's a standard set of code. You can adjust if you want. If you don't like how it looks or you want the proportions a little different, you can mess with that if you know a little something about adding code to a web page.
Mm-hmm.
If not, we can kind of step you through that.
Okay.
Pretty straightforward. But yeah, you could reuse it. as long as it's on the same websites that when we set it up, we specified the websites you were going to embed it on. And we can go back and change that up, simple email. Oh, you decided to go off and create your own website, not under the Triad REIA umbrella. Right. We then add that domain name to the list of allowed websites to show it. It'd be interesting to try it also to see if Craigslist would allow you to embed it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'd add Craigslist as a allowed domain name to see what that might do for some of the lower cost rentals. The great thing is it's a one-time fee, and we just we come out one time and shoot it.
That's really cool. I would be a little nervous about Craigslist because I've posted some stuff to, like, let's say Zillow, and it distributes those to like Hot Pads and Trulia and all that. But what we've had somebody take our ad from Zillow and post it on Craigslist as if they were us, and then collect deposits and rent and rent it out to somebody, and they're none the wiser. We didn't know that they had rented it until I was doing pest control there. And there's somebody living in one of our units. And
holy mackerel. Yeah. So then we would specifically, in that case, if you put it up on Trulia or Zillow, we would then allow it to be cross-posted. However, they cross-pollinate those listings to be included in the listing on those other websites.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, that is the long and short of it. Certainly, I am open to questions. Sometimes I wind up wrapping up faster than I anticipate. I'm happy to go through.
Are you guys doing any kind of drone like work outside and doing farther stuff away and then coming into the building?
Yeah, we haven't done any drone work. We know some drone photographers. We haven't specifically added that as a service. It's nice to get the outside. Maybe that's been effective. I really, I'm all in on the inside where people are going to actually live.
That's good. Whenever you take the photos, is there a certain height that you want the photos? Is it eye level when you're standing up, or do you want it eye level when you're sitting down? I've heard of different things.
I try and what I try and do is try and let it happen at a normal height for somebody. So I go in with my tripod and I'll set it around about as tall as I am. So that kind of gives you kind of the perspective of somebody entering the room of a reasonable height. Sometimes, because the way a room is set up, we might set it on a bed, we might set it on a kitchen table. That gives us the best orientation overall, but we still look to kind of keep it all at that same fixed height.
Gotcha. Pamela had a good question in the box. Do you provide a reduced or separate fee for property that is being refilmed, like within 6 months to a year or something like that?
I mean, we can certainly talk about that. Higher volume might warrant a change in fees, especially if it's a reshoot. There are some fixed fees aspects to what we do, and there may be some room for a change in fee for a redo in 6 months to a year. We love recurring clients.
That brought up something that struck me, Pamela. I don't know if maybe you were getting at this, but what if you're doing like a flip and you want to document your progress? So you go in, you do the initial 360 to see what the condition is, and then go in a month later, and then a month later, and a month later, and that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Long time to be flipping. 3 months.
Do what?
That's a long time to be flipping. 3 months.
Yeah. Shailene, I don't want to talk about it.
That's a lot. That's a little bit of cash on the table, isn't it? If it's 3-6 months.
It is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that one's gone now. That's good. Do you guys have any other questions for Rob?
Aside from that list you put up at the very beginning, like with the decluttering and shining the surfaces, is there anything else that you found to go wrong? Or have you ever had to go back and reshoot because you didn't realize something?
I mean, some of it's been on my end. I didn't charge the camera fully, so now I do a much thorough check of the camera that it's truly ready to go at the power level that it needs to be. But, we want to make sure, especially with a residential shoot, that nobody's present, just like a photography shoot for listing, and that everything that you can make it to make it visually appealing is done. There's no overflowing trash bins. The bathrooms are clean. All the surfaces are clean, patched, painted, that all the finish work, the punch list is done, certainly, because as you could see, if, if we went in and you didn't finish the punch list, it'd be showing some things that you were probably on process on, probably something you needed to call quid pro quo for.
Oh, that was good. I like that.
Yeah, so it's helpful if it's as near to move-in condition as possible with
Good.
final finishes done.
In your experience, is there like a best time of day? Is it better to have more natural light? Would you have all the lights on anyway?
I'd have all the lights on anyway, as I shared within that list. But also, if the window blinds are open, definitely, if it's favorable for some rooms, early morning to afternoon might be better. If you wanted to include outdoor spaces, you'd want to look at best time of day to show those. I know if it's like a south-facing back deck, noon's going to be murderous to shoot. Early morning's going to be better. And early afternoon would be better times for outdoor spaces. The forklift place that I showed you that we did was done at about 8 o'clock in the morning in October. So that was a pretty good time of day. And we're only limited by our schedule when we can schedule it for you. But definitely blinds open, all lights on, shows the property in its best light.
Unless the neighbors are looking in the windows, that would be awkward.
Yeah, I guess if you're like multi-door property, right, and you've got blinds open, all the lights are on, might attract attention. I don't know. It depends on where it is.
Oh man, that's funny.
And is the backyard also, I guess, 30 cents a square foot? Do you do square feet of backyard, or how does that work?
Yeah, we just assume, just where we'd probably, it depends how many photos we need to do for the backyard, right? We could probably just include one photo of the backyard just to kind of get the, just like we did the back of Act Forklifts. That was one photo facing out back. Pam has a question about lighting. We generally don't provide lighting. If it's something that's needed, we can talk about what we can do to get that accomplished.
On your special camera, how many shots per second does that fancy camera do?
Yeah, so it's really not the number it does per second, but the capacity that it has. And it can do up to, I think it's like a gig on board memory. So we can do a lot of pictures of a property before we need to download.
And does the camera stitch the photos together like individual photos, or how does that work?
Yeah, so it takes one 360-degree image and then we're able to upload that to our hosting platform, and then they know to expect a photo in that format, and then are able to display it for touring like you saw in both the tours. And then we go in and make some edits to those to create a tour that flows you through a property.
Gotcha.
How long does it take? I see a question from Jeffrey Thornton. How long does it normally take beginning to end on the initial tour? Well, I guess that assumes quite a lot. Let's assume that the property's clean, ready to go. We can get in there and shoot it in about most properties in about 90 minutes. We then can upload it sometimes the same day or next day and create the tour. So does that help answer your question, Jeffrey? Great. Okay, super. Yeah, and if anybody has any additional questions, you can add them to our chat while I'm still here, and I can include my contact information in the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. If you could do that, that would be very helpful.
Sure.
Do you do any kind of what Shailene was talking about? Do you do any photos of the side of the house or side of the property, even
Yeah,
if
we
there's no
can.
doors or anything there?
I mean, we can do we can add some outside photos. It gets you around the property.
Right.
Sure, if you wanted to do a front facing photo, and then you wanted to connect some, so say there's 4 photos, we could figure out a price to add 4 more photos to a tour that were outside.
Okay.
For sure.
Gotcha. All right, good. You guys have any other questions for Rob? Oh, thank you for putting your information in there. Can you tell us a little bit about, because I know you said that you did you do some marketing stuff too, as far
Yeah,
as
absolutely.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So Facebook ads seem to be, once you get over the hurdle of telling Facebook that you're in a special category, that you're a company that rents properties, those can be pretty targeted. We've had a lot of success. In fact, just for the heck of it, I took a local real estate listing, put it on my community page, and targeted the local zip codes. And I know they got a couple showings and wound up closing the property. I don't know if it was a result of that, but I know I got some people looking at it. So maybe that real estate agent got a little freebie from me, but I wanted to try it as an experiment. And it definitely got people looking at the listing, looking at the ad, and then connecting with the listing. So those can be really, really, really successful. So too, if you have, multifamily that you're looking at renting out, you could try Google ads. I know that the monster rental websites kind of get top billing, and it might take us a little bit to find out the trick to get your Google ad up there with everybody else. I find it's really successful when there's something really special about your rental that someone's going to specifically keyword search for when they're in Google, like in-law suite property, that kind of stuff. Or, I don't know all the search habits of all the people that buy and rent, but certainly there's a place for a certain amount of paid advertising in your mix. If other things, in addition to other things that you already do. We also offer website design and search engine optimization. Search engine optimization kind of helps you out in a number of ways. although it's generally more of a long-term kind of service that we offer people that have websites. We look at, for SEO services, we look at about a 12-month contract, and we work with you monthly to kind of increase the organic or natural search visibility of your website. The paid ads run shorter. We can do something 30 days really quick till it's rented. If there's longer efforts, we like to help you over a 6-month period that gives us the time to kind of discover truly what's working best and what's not working, especially in light of some things that have happened in Google Ads. They used to give us the ability to see all the words that were attracting attention. They've now limited that up a little bit. And so we have to work a little bit harder on the front end to exclude keywords that we think will bring the wrong kind of traffic to your website. So those are some other things that we offer.
Okay. I'm dumb. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Sure.
What
So,
kind of?
Yeah. So with Google Ads, you're bidding for a click for a set of keywords that you want your website to show up for.
Okay.
So say 3-bedroom condo, Guilford College, and you want to show your condo near Guilford College for that search query. We'd set up an ad campaign that would show your listing on your website for only those keywords: 3-bedroom condo, Guilford College, or something close to that.
Okay.
What Google has done is, we used to get a lot of information from Google because you were paying for the click about all the search terms that kind of caused your ad to show.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're taking more vigorous steps to kind of eliminate kind of synonyms and things that are irrelevant to you showing for the search term that you paid for. And we're adding a lot more specificity to our campaigns so that you get your dollar spent where it's going to make the most impact.
Right. Because it doesn't make sense for them to show your ad for somebody that's searching for Guilford College admissions.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So you're trying to keep those people away because you don't want to pay for those clicks.
Right.
But get the real people that are actually looking for a condo in that area.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And so that's what we do. There's lists of keywords that we keep that are what we call negative keywords. So Google says, okay, you don't want to show for Guilford College admissions or anything including the word admissions.
Okay.
Or financial aid, or degree courses, or graduation information. We'd add all of these as negative keywords so that you get the most you can from your advertising dollars.
Mm-hmm. And back to the Facebook stuff. So I personally don't have a Facebook. Like Tyler Loud does not have a Facebook.
Okay.
But I can set up a business Facebook and then run Facebook ads off from that?
Absolutely. If you're not, let me check something really quick, and I might do a quick screen share.
I know, I'm weird. Like, who doesn't have a Facebook right now?
No. Let me log out. And that's weird. Like, logging out. Log out. Okay. Yeah, let me do a share real quick. So in your case, let's see. Share screen. So we're on Facebook. We're logged out.
Mm-hmm.
You see this right here? create a page.
Yep.
For celebrity, band, or business, that's what you do.
Okay. So I'd be a
So
celebrity because I'm a host of Let's Being.
Yeah, so you'd say right here, business or brand, get
Okay.
started. So this is, if you don't have a Facebook account, how you would start a Facebook page.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very cool.
just for you.
And then so we would be able to run Facebook ads from that page. So
Correct.
people would be directed to look at my business page.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, this takes you into a flow to start a business page, and you know, you'll have to do some kind of creating an account to do that.
Mhm.
They're
Okay.
forcing you in the flow to do that
Yeah.
because they want to know something about you. Yeah, so that's how that's done. From if you're logged in, it's a little different flow.
Okay. Because I don't necessarily want to have to open up a personal page, but I'd still like that business page on there.
Yeah. Once you're on Facebook, and if you're on Facebook, the flow's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Give me just a minute and I'll share this view for those of you that have Facebook. This is what it looks like now. You go to pages, you'll say create new page, and that's the start of it. You can give a page name, a category, a description, and then it says that it'll give you the okay to create a page, and then you've got to come up with images for profile image and then a page image. And what's nice is they give you the ability to look at it both mobile and desktop. Obviously I'm on desktop, so you get both views.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier if you have a personal page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
Because then with a personal account, you then can create, you can get with a business page, you can then have a business manager and allow somebody like me into that account, but not have any visibility of the financial ends or the personal ends of your Facebook account.
Gotcha.
And it technically, why you create a business page is it's against terms of service for Facebook to use a Facebook personal page as a business page.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and so this is how you would do it properly. There are plenty of people using multiple Facebook accounts. That's not what Facebook wants you to do. They want to know that you're the authentic person that you are when you create your personal account, and then you connect all of these business accounts to your personal account.
Gotcha. How much does something like that cost to get Facebook ads and SEO stuff?
Yeah, so to do it, you're going to do it yourself. We'd come up with a minimum spend and a management fee on top of that because there's some time in us creating the ads. So it's mostly based on what we set for Google ads and any kind of paid ads is a minimum $4.99 management fee to manage spend up to $1,000 a month.
Okay. Gotcha. Is that $4.99
per month? Yeah, per month
Gotcha.
for us to manage your paid ads. And
Gotcha.
we talk with you and work on strategy and kind of talk through what we're doing on a monthly basis too. So it's not, just some data center in India calling you every week or every month about what's happening with your with your ads.
Right.
It's me.
And you guys would do like some A/B testing and try and figure out what ads are working, which ones aren't, that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
definitely. We drop in a couple of different ad types into your ad campaign. That's any paid ads that we do. Google ads, we run 3 ads at any given time for any group of keywords. And then we can look at some other tactics too. If you have an email list, we can use the email list to reach more of the same people with Facebook ads. But you need 1,000 email addresses. That's
Okay.
kind of the minimum to do that kind of list matching.
Gotcha. Very cool. I don't want to take up all your time. Do you guys have any questions for Rob? It looks like we got a couple more minutes before the meeting's over.
I love all the questions and appreciate all the participation. That's what makes it really valuable.
Mm-hmm. And then, are you based out of Winston or Greensboro, Rob?
I'm just south of Greensboro,
Okay.
near Ashboro.
And what's like the radius you'll travel to do all this?
Yeah, I like to stick to kind of the core triad: Winston-Salem, High Point, Greensboro. Yeah, that's my core. Traveling beyond that kind of radius, I really need to consider traveling fees and that kind of thing, because that gets us a little out of our home base.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, yeah, I agree with Carrie. Really great information. Thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome. And again, I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you guys have Rob's information in the chat box. If you'd like to save the chat box information, what you can do is you can go to the bottom right of your screen where the chat box is, and there'll be a button with 3 little dots on it. So if you click on that, you can click Save Chat. That'll be the first button at the top, and you can save all the information that's in the chat box. So you can have all of Rob's information, all of Quid Pro Quo's information in there. So lots of good information in there. So save that to your computer. Well, Rob, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
We really appreciate you coming.
Certainly. Thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely. All right. Well, with that, everybody, thank you and have a good day. And let us know if you need anything. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.